One of the great summer traditions in the city of Toronto. The X is there on the CNE grounds. Fans enjoying that, and they have a chance to go inside BMO Field right next door and enjoy a CFL game in Friday Night Football with Trevor Harris and the Eskimos there, leading passer in the league, 33 of 40 for 327 last week, but the Eskimos only put 16 points on the board. And how about McLeod Bethel Thompson? He had struggled up until 2 weeks ago. Best game of his young CFL career, 37 of 49, 343, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and the only win of the season for the Argos over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So it's Friday Night Football. Welcome to it. Rod Smith, Henry Burris, Davis Sanchez, and Milt Stiegel. And we got to go Coors Light answering the call right out of the gate. So you take it, sir. Who you got?
Well, I got to put Trevor on the spot on this. Trevor's my boy, and I'm going to tell you right now, Trevor's been lighting up this league behind an offensive line that's been killing it, guys. They got the number 3 rusher in the league in C.J. Gable. They got the number 1 passing attack, only giving up 3 sacks. We're talking about from Tommy Draheim to Colin Kelly, 2 former Red Blacks. And Sir Vincent Rogers he's not even in the equation yet. But the thing is, they got to finish off drives. Yep. They're putting up lots of yardage, but that's like a guy scoring 30 points and never winning a game in basketball. You got to finish off the drives, guy. You got to warrant and reward all the hard work that you put in.
I'm going to go cliche monster right now.
So do it.
Stats are for losers. I don't care what McLeod Bethel Thompson
does. And why you always talk about the interceptions you got then?
That's a fact.
But he was a winner in that game with the big stats.
And my point of this is I don't care what happens or how they get it done really at this point, because we're at the point now we just got to win. So McLeod Bethel Thompson, find a way to win this game, pull it off your teammates, and you'll be the starting quarterback. That's it.
I'm with you on that one because it's not James Franklin he's holding off. It's Zach Collars is who he's holding off. The man they traded for, they want to get him in the game. But if McLeod continues winning, continues playing well, this is his job. And he actually said that. He's like, no, I'm still the starting quarterback. I'm sure there's tensions within that organization right now between those two guys because McLeod Bethel Thompson, his confidence level is high. What is in his mind is not what he's always doing on the field. But if he goes out there and plays well and they win, he's still the starting quarterback.
One of the things I noticed about the 2 best spurts for the Argos against Winnipeg both times, second half 3 weeks earlier in Winnipeg, before that game a couple of weeks ago, but they get down so much, and then they start to turn it on, and that's got to change.
Well, 9 points in the first quarter for the entire start to this season. That's got to change. They got to get off to a good start because, this Edmonton Eskimo offense with that firepower, they can really turn it up quickly.
Yeah, they can. That was a slight shot at you, too. The stats are for losers. That was a slight shot because your stats are through the roof.
So you said I'm a loser?
You didn't win much. Yeah, great stats.
You said I'm a loser?
You're a Hall of Famer.
I'm a loser.
You didn't win much.
Tell him my mother on you, dude.
You cut him deep.
You did.
He's got a street named after him. Toughen up.
Like that.
He's going to take a swipe at you again. You just watch. Rod Black, Matt Dunnigan at the call. Friday Night Football on TSN. Here come the Argos. Enjoy.
Keep it above the waist there, Sanchez. No more.
Well, the rides are here, the food is here, the games of chance, the midway. It's an excellent night for exciting football because it is the X. And the biggest attraction tonight is at BMO Field. The Eskimos and the Argonauts on Friday Night Football. First day of the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, and the second meeting of the season between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and Brandon Burks gets the start as James Wilder continues to sit, and I like it. This kid is explosive. He can do it all. He was a receiver and a running back for Troy University, and I'm excited to watch this explosive player do his thing. On the other side, we know this guy up close and personal, C.J. Gable from USC. He can do it all. He's a 3-way back. He loves to pick up that blitzer and that extra man, keep his quarterback clean, which they've done all season long. And C.J. Gable, we know he can tote the rock.
We have a bit of an issue. If you listen closely, there was an alarm going off here. Now, we had some fireworks before the game. Not sure if that triggered the alarm as Jason Moss has his players along the sideline. No one has really taken to the field for the kickoff yet, and I think they're still waiting to see what's next. Jason Moss and his Eskimos 5-3. Corey Chamberlain, his team's been on a roller coaster of sort. It hasn't been a happy ride, but it's a much happier ride the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, got their first win against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Rod, I felt like it could have been something. There we go. Like a premeditated fire drill for the Argonaut offense, a kickstart. So this is good news. It just went off, got a big ovation and cheer from the crowd, and that's a good thing. But I thought it might have been a point for the Argonauts to kickstart that offense. He's only scored 9 points in the first quarter all season long.
They've been outscored 16-4-9. McLeod, Bethel, Thompson. Another start here. Told us yesterday they need to start early. And he said that loss in Edmonton against the Eskimos 3 weeks ago, 26-zip, was like a death. Well, he said that win against Winnipeg, it was typical Macbeth. He said it was a rebirth.
Oh my goodness. Well, Edmonton won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, and if you're looking for a quick start, they got a couple guys in the back end there for Toronto that can take it to the house in a hurry. So I like this for Toronto, giving another opportunity here to start the football game to be explosive.
Sean White's going to kick it off. It is the X game. Welcome, Canada. Double blue against the green and gold. And the Argos will start near their 38-yard line. McLeod, Bethel, Thompson. 3-10 career as a starter, 1-4 in 2019. Coming off a great performance against the Blue Bombers.
Yeah. He said in sit-downs yesterday, I love this. He says, to know oneself is wisdom, to know others is wisdom, to know about yourself is enlightenment. We know that this guy is deep, and he's resilient, because what he did 2 weeks ago to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers was phenomenal.
Eskimos.
There it is.
Brandon Burks sprung loose. An Eskimo defense that doesn't allow much of that. One of the best defenses in the land, and that time they got shredded by Brandon Burks.
Absolutely, and this is what I'm anticipating a lot of. And you watch Burks, he's right there. Just a little cross motion in the backfield, and he hits a hole there, and he's to the house. He shows that explosiveness, and we need a lot of that tonight. That's why James Wilder's sitting on the bench right now.
Terrell Walker. James Wilder is a scratch tonight. Let's take a look at this Toronto Argonaut offense that is last in most CFL categories statistically.
Yeah, we just said hello to Brandon Burks, or switch that. He just said hello to us and says, yes, I'm here to stay. And up front, Jamal Campbell, he's going to be up tough against this very underrated, but very certainly dominant defensive line, the Edmonton Eskimos.
Here comes the rush. Bethel Thompson fires. And Walker again, who had a slow start to the season with the Argos, but has quickly become their leading receiver, and why not? He comes with pedigree, and he, of course, was a former Edmonton Eskimo superstar.
Yeah, and we know he's got a little bounce in his step tonight, maybe a little something extra, but he's a go-to guy who can light this up. And I look at that receiving core, and I'd like to be in that huddle throwing the ball to 87 all night long, along with S.J. Green and Armani Edwards. Formidable group, and McLeod, Bethel, Thompson got it done 2 weeks ago against Bombers.
3rd and inches. Bethel Thompson. And then from the last offensively to first in almost every department defensively, the green and gold.
Yeah, and they do it by committee. You know, you're looking at Mike Moore there, who leads that defensive line in sacks this season, and they just kind of quietly go about their business and wreak havoc on quarterbacks. And Larry Dean from Valdosta State, I love him. 300-plus tackles on his career already. He's there to stay in the middle. He's another great for the Eskimos. And Josh Johnson doing his thing back. There's the ball on the ground.
Oh, Chris Rainey. They tried a little direct snap. That was almost snapped directly back to the Eskimos. Bethel Thompson with some tomfoolery, and Rainey couldn't snare it. So it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, he kind of fought that one, but got an Argo bounce there.
Yes, he did.
Big time, and picked up 5. I like it, though. Get into his hands. He's a playmaker, just like Burks.
Argos dead last in 2nd down conversions. The rush. Bethel Thompson's hit, but completes the pass.
Jimmy
Ralph spins that football, moves the sticks.
Yeah, he's right. He's right here. He's just going to run a little bang route. He's going to come in here. He's going to slide in and kick it back out. Oh, I like it. 19th catch of the season. Looking for his first touchdown. I find that hard to believe. 3 years in the league, he hadn't scored yet, so I know he's hungry.
Maybe on this drive. Ethel Thompson play action, and he's going down.
That's a headsy move.
Sack of the game. Kwaku Boateng.
Kwaku gets his 5th of the year.
He's quaking, I'll tell you that. Quaking and shaking, Kwaku Boateng.
That's a lot to shake right there. Here he is, number 5 on the season. 5th sack. They just do it. They just kind of spread things out. They're not going to let anybody get too crazy. But I like that move by McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Not forcing it, just taking the loss and living to play another one.
Here's the ref's point of view.
Toronto was challenging that there was roughing the quarterback on the previous play.
And they are challenging possible face mask.
Yeah, he hit him right in the face mask with his hand. Any type of hand to the head, they're not going to miss that for the most part. And they're going to call it, and particularly when somebody's challenged it. I think it's definitely going to be one of those scenarios where first down, Toronto.
CFL command has it. They're looking at it. And that sack may be taken away when we come back. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. X-Night here in Toronto. Here is the verdict from CFL command.
After review, we have roughing the passer, Edmonton number 93. That penalty would be applied half the distance to goal. Automatic first down, Toronto.
Kwaku disagrees, but this is an Edmonton team. Despite all their prolific numbers, one horrific number is the amount of penalties this team takes.
Yeah, they lead the league in that department. 105 total, 27 more than the number 8 team in the league. And I mean, a soft foul, right? You didn't mean to do that, but it's a soft foul, but it's letter of the law. Can't touch quarterback's headgear.
So the Argos now will scrimmage inside the 10. First and goal. An Argo team outscored 64-9 in first quarters through 7 games. A team that has not scored a touchdown in the first quarter this season. 8th play of the drive. Assisted by penalty. Quads right. Bethel-Thompson looking and sacked. Once more, this time this will count. And it is Nick Usher with his 4th of the season.
That's right. They just spread it around. They spread the love. They don't care. Just as long as somebody gets there. I think Nick's right here. And a 4-point. Well, that's, oh my God, he just pancaked Campbell. That's going to be tough to watch if you're an Argonaut in film session tomorrow.
There's another challenge. Corey Chamberlain. There is the point of view, the ref's point of view. Dave Foxcroft, our referee tonight.
The passer on the quarterback. We'll review the play.
And if you win a challenge, you get a chance to keep your challenge. So another opportunity. Foxcroft tonight, by the way. Congratulations to Dave. His 300th CFL game.
I think they got a good case here as well. We're going to take a look at it again. You're going to watch our man Usher coming from the top of your screen to Campbell, and then he kind of hit him, I think, right in the thigh, and then fell down to the knee. So I think that's a legal hit. He hit him in his thigh and just wrapped him with his left arm. And
well, they got him right on the knee there. That helmet. The thing is,
but he was already falling down. He's already, the impact had been made to his thigh, then he's already fallen down. I get it. By the letter of the law. I know. It's like both of these are really, really soft fouls, but they're fouls.
Oh, they're fouls.
Yeah.
They call them in the NBA ticky-tack.
See, but I think they hit him. I think they hit him in the thigh, and he fell down to his lower half.
After review, There is no roughing the passer on the previous play. The ruling on the field stands. Toronto is charged a timeout and has no more challenges remaining.
So 1 for 1, 1-1. Corey Chamberlain challenges now 4.
Not a bad challenge. Not a bad challenge, right? Team desperately looking for the end zone first quarter, trying to jump out, get the crowd into it.
2nd down and goal, though.
They got the horses to stick it in there.
From 14-yard line.
Amani Edwards is wide open.
Here they come again. And Macbeth is swarmed. Down he goes. And this Eskimo defense frothing from the mouth early tonight. Another sack. Armando Sewell with his 5th.
Yeah, this is pretty simple stuff here. Just a little twist on both sides, and he goes up the field, gets around his man, and then he says hello to Bethel Thompson, and he doesn't have time to find his receiver. He had Armani Edwards wide open and didn't have time to set his feet.
Tyler Krapinja puts the Argos on the board. Long drive ate up a lot of the clock, but the Argos unable to get to the end zone yet again. They lead 3-0. Eskimos 3 sacks to the counted, keeping the Argos out of the end zone on Friday Night Football.
Yeah, this is impressive numbers here this season. It's a little sack ratio compared to the rest of some of the dominant defenses in the Canadian Football League, and clearly the Edmonton Eskimos are way ahead of the pack, and they've been frustrated in a very young Toronto offensive line right now. These guys are formidable. Not just one guy, but everybody put together collectively, they are a beast.
Fantastic 4. They can interchange at any moment. So the Eskimos. Taekwon Glass shakes a couple of tackles, and that gives Trevor Harris a starting point. The 35-yard line. He has been impressive, to say the least, in his percentage throwing the football. Not a lot of big plays for the Eskimos, and they've struggled in the red zone. But still, these Eskimos, 5-3 in the thick of it in the West. And coming off a win last week against Trevor's old team, the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, I mean, turnovers kill football teams, right? 2 of the best quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League. One's been injured. Don't know how badly. Matt Nichols for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Trevor Harris, and they don't throw picks.
That was almost picked. Looking for Greg Ellingson. And just
Dowling
inches Jonathan Dowling from giving up Trevor Harris's 3rd interception.
Watch him lay out for this. Boy, Ellie's waiting on it, and Dowling's breaking on it. It's usually the difference between a catch and an interception right there. Squeeze that, Dowling. Come on now, do it for Western Kentucky.
Harris again. Far side, and Ellingson hauls that in. Greg Ellingson.
Hey, this doesn't look like much, Rod, but this is a hell of a throw from Trevor Harris. On point, 45 yards in the air and a dime, and this is it, and it's got to be, and he lets his favorite target turn it up. That is a beautifully thrown football a long way. Trevor Harris on the money.
Ellingson, the former star of Florida International. He and Harris, of course, together in Ottawa for so many years. C.J. Gable runs wild left side, and C.J. Gable, one of the CFL's top performers of the week. His first touch goes for 14 here tonight.
Yeah, they flatten them out, going double tights, the Edmonton Eskimos. That means they got 2 extra offensive linemen in there. You got Colin Kelly coming around, sealing the edge, and C.J. Gable says, thank you very much. I'll improve on my 5.23 yards per carry.
Eskimo team, #1 in net offense. 5th overall in points scored. Harris, left side again. It is Ellingson.
Yeah, C.J. Gable, he said hello to us just like Brandon Burke and his first couple of touches. I absolutely love it. These running backs going tit for tat. And competitive spirits and juices are rolling early. Colin Kelly, we saw him come around the corner and lead the way. Absolutely love the fact that we've got him spotlighted on an outstanding offensive line. He's kept Trevor Harris clean all season long with only 3 sacks.
Second down and 4. Harris goes deep, and he's got Ellingson, who makes an outstanding catch inside the 5-yard line.
I don't think Ellie needed to jump for this. I thought he could have run under that. Trevor's on fire right now. He's throwing dimes, and we know he's highly accurate, and he's pushing the football down the field. That's a nice route on Ford. And Ellie just kind of loses his feet there, thinking he's got to dive, but the ball, I think, was there. And got him down to the 4 anyways. Take that all day long.
Here's where the Eskimos have been struggling. In this area, inside the 20. Trying to punch it home. Impressive drive. And DeVaris Daniels can't hang on. And that had 6 on it.
Watch Trevor Harris' reaction after this throw through the hands of DeVaris Daniels. Trevor's just, he's not, he knows the importance of this throw. And you just watch him. He thinks he's got one right here. Goes right through his receiver's left hand. Trevor's not happy on the back end. Shows a little frustration. He knows how important that is to get this team on track.
So does he go to the air? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he does. Touchdown. And the Eskimos are on the board thanks to Trevor Harris and Greg Ellingson, who just ran the field.
Yeah, that was like a hot knife through butter right there. Were the Toronto defenders on the field at all? It was relatively easy. Trevor just gets it, sets his feet, throws a quick slant to Ellingson, who's got leverage, and they're having a night already, and it's early in the first quarter.
Greg Ellingson, 4 catches already, 60 yards in a couple minutes. He might have a monster night tonight. One of his best as a new Eskimo, Sean White, to convert the point after, right down Yonge Street. 3-minute drive, 7 plays, 75 yards, and Trevor Harris, high percentage as always. His 11th touchdown pass of the season, Ellingson's 3rd touchdown as an Eskimo. 7-3 Edmonton. Welcome back. First day at the X. First series for the Eskimos.
How about that, huh?
And Matt Dunnigan, pretty happy camper right now.
Yes, I am, Rodney. Yes, I am. I got Ellie in fantasy this week, baby. And 1 drive, 16 points.
You know what? I have, not that I've been reluctant, I sometimes think I don't have time. I'm getting into the fantasy world.
Well, you better.
I'm getting into the fantasy world. You're getting left behind.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I'm getting into fantasy.
Come on, Rainey.
Here goes Chris Rainey. Fantasy player. Rainey with a stiff arm on Sean White. And another huge return in a year of many, many great returns. Instant field position. And poor Sean White just got dusted by the Rain Man.
And 2 smallest guys on the football field say hello to each other, and Rainey does it in a hurry, as he always does. He already has 3 punts on the year with 50 yards or more in returns, and this is a kickoff return, and he takes that back and gives Toronto great field position.
48-yard return, Matty. There goes McLeod Bethel Thompson again. Strike over the middle. And Rodney Smith collects it. It'll be 2nd down and short. This is what you want if you're the Argos. A lot of that 2nd down conversion stuff, the number's low because they haven't been productive on 1st down.
Yeah, that's huge offensively when basically you're winning with just 2 downs, and Toronto's got to be better there, and that's a great start. Rodney Smith, 10th catch of the year.
Handed off to Burks. Spun. It'll be a 3rd down here. They needed 3, may have only got 2, maybe less than that. So Corey Chamberlain looks it over with 5:32 to go in the first. Again, keep in mind, a team that has not scored a touchdown in an opening quarter all season. Clearly, the MO is not to go for the points here. They're going after first down.
Yeah, why not? And you're 1 and 6.
Two weeks ago, the Argos got their first win of the season, Matty, and it was Macbeth at his finest. Shakespearean.
Yeah, completed 37 passes. You see it there in 49 attempts. Ties for 4th best all times in a completion by Argo quarterback, and that was the biggest one of the game right there. 3rd and goal, needed it. SJ Green, both people read the hot, and SJ, 10 catches in the year, nothing bigger. 10 catches in the night, nothing bigger than that one right there.
So now this is where the Eskimos are so good. They stiffen close to their goal line. Burks swallowed. It's Usher in there. Don Unumba,
Yeah, but
initial contact.
Yeah, what Don Unumba just did there, and he's making his first start in quite a while, and playing Sam linebacker. He set the edge, and he forced him back inside, and that's what you got to do. And that's 2 plays in a row that Unumba's been in the backfield, basically.
Argos, no huddle, trying to get some rhythm here. Get the Eskimos off rhythm. But for the rush, though, Bethel Thompson swings it out to Smith. He's going nowhere, and now it's a moot point.
And you see on that play there, it doesn't look like much, but they rushed 3 here, and McLeod Bethel Thompson's clock in his head is not registering properly here, and he doesn't have to dump it down because he's got no pressure. You watch the rush, and nobody's going to get to him, and he's dumping it down already. They only rushed 3. And if he just scans the field just a little bit longer, because he's got no pressure, he can push the ball down the field, but he dumped underneath down there kicking a field goal. That's just pressure. That's what it does to quarterbacks. Disrupts that timing mechanism in their head.
42-yarder for Tyler Crepigna. This one is through. Argos pull within 1 thanks to 2 Crepigna field goals. Well, a lot of talk about the quarterback situation. There's Zach, there's Franklin, sideline tonight. Matthew Shinetti has the story on the Argos' pivotal situation next. What once was the domain of Ricky Ray is still up in the air with more. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Yeah, Rod, it's getting a little complicated. McLeod Bethel Thompson is starting tonight, but if you listen to Corey Chamberlain, it's not so much how McLeod Bethel Thompson starts, it's how he finishes. Let's run through the other quarterbacks. We know that Dakota Prukop is the backup. We know he has played if McLeod Bethel Thompson hasn't played well. Michael O'Connor, the draft pick, is not getting in. And then there's Zach Caleros and James Franklin. James Franklin comes off the 6th game next week with that hamstring injury. And Zach Caleros, who is still being evaluated by team doctors for that hit that Simone Lawrence put on him. If all of those guys, Bethel Thompson and Franklin and Caleros, are healthy, well, the Argos are now carrying 5 quarterbacks. That is a salary cap dilemma. And as we get closer to Labor Day, you have to wonder that is going to continue to be an issue. So really, how McLeod Bethel Thompson plays tonight and in the weeks ahead, how those quarterbacks get healthy, well, that could be the story of the Argos season in terms of quarterbacks, guys.
Wow, that's club quarterback. I absolutely love that. He misses a couple of cocktails with some umbrellas in it down there.
Christian Jones. Breaking news.
Yeah, this is good.
Another Damon Allen has decided to come out of retirement.
Yes.
56 years young. 72,000 yards plus.
And almost 12,000 yards rushing. Think about that.
You guys were kindred spirits. You were together at one time.
If I'm taking a one-off of one guy to get the job done in one game, I'm taking that guy right there. And he was money in the big games. Damon Allen is special. He could probably go out there and sling it with all those guys right now.
Like 2004. A lot of quarterbacks in the house, including one of the greatest right beside me in the booth tonight. Matt Dunnigan, C.J. Gable, wrapped up and ripped down by Justin Thomas.
Man, you got a formidable offensive line like the Edmonton Eskimos, and you are Robbie Smith, first-year player from Wilfrid Laurier. Boy, you've got your work cut out for you. 6 tackles, 1 quarterback sack in the season. And in the middle, Ian Wild. He's flanked by Herman Reed and Gabriel. A couple outstanding Canadian linebackers. In the back end, Tremaine Washington off the 6th game. He's shoring up the corner.
Austin Thomas out of Iowa State. And Trevor Harris slinging. And it's caught by DeVaris Daniels behind Jonathan Dowling. And a big play, big strike. Trevor Harris goes bombing here tonight at BMO Field.
He's right. Here's the fly. This is jet. This is go. This is just
legal contact on the receiver. Toronto.
Just fly right by.
First down.
Trevor Harris pushing it down the field. Something you don't see very often. Toronto defensive secondary. Guys getting beat over the top. They really force you to dink and dunk all day, which is Trevor Harris's wheelhouse. We know that. DeVaris Daniels says, I'm going deep.
Under 2 to play in what has been a very eventful first quarter. Harris again. Once again, and is Daniels. DeVaris Daniels and Trevor Harris. Extraordinary numbers this year. You thought Mike Riley was putting up great numbers in his time as MOP season. Trevor Harris could bypass those this year, the way he's been chucking it. CJ Gable runs right into that Argo line. On 2nd down, it's 1st down, and now they're inside the red zone.
These are some crazy numbers what we're looking at here, Rod. Trevor Harris is on pace to smash some Edmonton Eskimo greats with his numbers, and just absolutely phenomenal that he's on pace to do this. We're talking about Riley, Ray, and Moon. 3 of the best ever donned the green and gold, and Trevor's on course to surpass all those greats.
33-year-old out of Waldo, Ohio. Played his college ball at Edinburgh U, Pennsylvania, was an Argo, was a red-black, loves being an Eskimo. Chuck it in zone, and throw behind for Ellingson. Thought he was interfered with by Kadarius Ford.
Yeah, Kadarius having a tough night on
There's
Ellie.
a flag, and this is going to likely come down to the 1-yard line. That's in goal in the score zone. If there's interference there, that ball immediately is placed at the 1.
Yeah, this is a one-on-one scenario.
Defensive pass interference. Toronto, number 21. Ball will be placed
He's
at the
open.
1-yard line.
Just throw it out there.
First down, Edmonton.
Just throw it out there, and you have him. The ball's severely underthrown. Ellie tries to work back, and Ford doesn't know where the ball's at, doesn't locate it. An easy call for the officials.
Well, this time at the 1.
Another red zone opportunity for the Eskimos.
Yeah, they've got CJ Gable split out. Harris plunges in. You'd have to think that's a touchdown. It is a touchdown.
Got to dig through the pile of humanity first to see where's he's at.
It's his 5th major of the season, and the tonic for Jason Moss and the Eskimos' red zone problems tonight has been the Toronto Argonauts.
That's not nice, Rod.
But 2 trips to the red zone and delivering 2 trips to the end zone. And so the Argos got more work to do here. 6 plays, 90 yards, 242. Big drive again by the Eskimos.
Yeah, a team that's 1-3 on the road struggles in the red zone. I mean, terribly. 16 points up until tonight on 5 trips in 4 games. They've got 14 already in the first quarter here in the red zone. So they're erasing that bad stat off the ledger right now.
Sean White, point after once more. And Trevor Harris just increases this stats
I'm hungry just thinking about Waldo, Blackie.
Well, you know, what's the old saying? Where in the world is Waldo? I can tell you where it's in. It's in Ohio, not far from Columbus. Population 324.
Yep.
It's famous for Trevor Harris and the fried bologna sandwich.
That does not look like the fried bologna sandwiches that I grew up eating.
These are apparently crazy. I talked to Trevor a couple of weeks ago, and he said, you've got to try the fried bologna sandwich.
I'm going to Waldo at the end of the season. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Pick up my wife, head down to the truck. I'm stopping at Waldo. I'm getting a bologna sandwich.
Bologna.
And then I'm going to Carlisle, Arkansas. I'm going to Nick's, and I'm grabbing some catfish over there.
Right.
I already got my meal plan.
And then you're going to go back to Winnipeg and get a Wallaby burger.
We were trying to get one at the X today.
Yeah, we made a trip to the X. I'll show you some highlights later. Final 5 seconds, opening quarter, and another tough first quarter for the Argos to swallow. Inability to get it to the end zone. Maybe Chris Rainey can light his spark again. That's the final play of the opening frame. The Eskimos score twice. Their defense does a job limiting the Argos to 2 field goals. But lots of scoring going on the field. There's our boys at the X on Friday Night Football. 1 quarter complete. The Edmonton Eskimos rocking and rolling here at the X tonight. 2 series, 2 touchdowns, both red zone scores, and the Argos unable to punch it to the end zone. Back here with Donald S. Cherry.
Red zone, smack zone for the Edmonton Eskimos. They won the toss. They deferred to the second half. They give Toronto the opportunity to go down, help them with a couple penalties. They kick a field goal. Doesn't stop Edmonton from erasing all those bad memories about all this talk about going down there and being productive, and that's exactly what they do. Go down there like a hot knife through butter and absolutely destroy the Toronto Argonaut defense like it's Skelly out there. And Trevor Harris and Greg Ellenson having a field day in the first quarter, 15 minutes of play. Really what the doctor ordered for the Eskimos on the road as 1-3 football team looking for their identity away from home.
This is an Argo team. Chris Rainey. A swing pass. This is an Argo team, though, especially with McLeod Bethel Thompson at quarterback, that has been able to play comeback. This guy is almost better in a deficit.
Yeah, and I like what Jacques Chapdelaine, offensive coordinator, is doing with the Argonauts. Is they got a lot of playmakers out there all over the football field. One of them is Chris Rainey, and he's trying to get him the football early.
Bethel Thompson, another quick one, far side. Nice move made, and a first down by Jimmy Ralph, whose brothers used to play in Alberta, Calgary Stampeder, Edmonton Eskimo, Brock and Brett.
Yeah, and watch this throw. McLeod Bethel Thompson says, hey, I can make that throw just like Trevor Harris. It's a wide side out. Finds Jimmy for the second time tonight, moving the chains.
There's Jacques Chapdelaine, longtime coach, former quarterback. And Rainey doing some dancing.
Yeah, I mean, you go from Brandon Burks to Chris Rainey, and it's just like, and that is some lethal capabilities there. They can gut you in a hurry, and they do here. Rainey in the backfield, getting some touches on this drive. Explosive offense. Trying to answer the call of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Again, good first down yardage, second and manageable. Brandon Burks on the sideline. Rainey takes and goes left side, has the edge. First down and more. And Burks comes back in. And Chris Rainey going back out.
Yeah, left to right. He's going right to left across your screen. And he just bounces it, and he's so fast. He gets any type of space. He's going to exploit a defense, and he gets down at the end of it.
Bethel Thompson, pop and go, and delivers to Rodney Smith. Another first down for the Argos, undaunted right now by that Eskimo lead.
Yeah, this is really nice by McLeod Bethel-Thompson. He's actually trying to find the crosser over here, the climb route, but he finds his receiver coming over here, sitting down. Watch him get off his reads. He fakes the swing route to the field, boom. Now he's looking for the climb route there. It's not there, and he finds his receiver right there sitting at the 24-yard line. Really nice job of going through the progressions of McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
Bethel-Thompson changes the play here. Lots of communication. Play clock coming down to 5.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
And that was going nowhere.
That's Vickers, Kendall
Vickers, former Tennessee Volunteer.
He volunteered. He put his hand up and said, I got this, coach. I got it. Yeah, he's living in the backfield here. Again, the Edmonton Eskimos' identity defensively is the best in the league. They do it by committee. And Vickers just knifes through there, almost untouched. He says, I'll take that.
Argos have really sputtered when they've penetrated deep into the Edmonton zone. Bethel-Thompson on the roll, can take it if he wants. He does, and close to a first down. Wise decision. It is a first down for McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
Yeah, this is a nice decision by McLeod Bethel-Thompson, trying to answer the Eskimos' explosiveness. And once the receivers are supposed to work back to the quarterback, Bethel-Thompson, he scrambles to his right. Watch SJ. SJ's coming, but he's over here to your left. He's over in this area. McLeod doesn't want to throw across his body, so he sees daylight. And he goes for it, and he picks up the first down with his legs. McLeod Bethel-Thompson averaging over 7 yards a carry every time he touches runs with the football. Picked up 10 big yards right there.
Down to the 10, 1st and 10. Main play of the drive, they'll hand it off. Rainey, looks like it's going to set up a throwing down. There is Dave Foxcroft wearing that ref cam, the ref's point of view. And again, congratulations to Dave, his 300th game. His dad, of course, a legend, Ron Foxcroft, who invented the Fox 40 whistle, long-time official.
Peerless whistle.
Yes, it is. And Ron Foxcroft, by the way, his pop's getting the Order of Canada next month.
Oh, congratulations, Ron. Well deserved.
Argos trying to get to the end zone. Looking one way. Now the pocket closes. And again, big Armando Sewell does it once more. Make that Kwaku Boateng who has the sack. And it's Boateng, who was denied one earlier, gets one this time. And again, they just tighten the screws, the Eskimos.
Kwaku's coming from here, and it's like 5,000, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, almost 5 1,000s. I mean, the ball's Velcros to McLeod Bethel-Thompson's hands here, and he's got to have a better sense of timing there down in the red zone. Well, it was just a misfire on his part. He'll want to have that one back.
Rapina done all the scoring tonight. We talked about the Eskimos and their lack of proficiency in the red zone offensively, but defensively they are #1 in the CFL, and they're showing why. That front, so good. Earthquake Kwaku with another sack here tonight. Welcome back to BMO Field. A lot of Eskimo fans made the trek. The first day of the Canadian National Exhibition that attracts thousands every year to this site. Used to be home to Exhibition Stadium, home of the Argos and the Blue Jays. Now home of BMO Field, the Argos. Toronto FC. Tyler Krapinya's done all the scoring. It's only a 5-point game, but the Argos have left a lot of points on the field here. Unable to get to the end zone. Christian Jones knocked down at the 36. Well, we talked about the X, and Maddie and I We went on a little
Going to the X. They're going to the
excellent
X.
adventure.
You got the Walby burgers going here?
You guys got a Walby burger? You ever heard of a Walby?
6 patties, 6 chicken fingers, 6 hot dogs, 6 of everything.
Yeah, we struggle a little bit with some of the stuff.
I couldn't believe how many Walby burgers were going down last night at IG Field.
Yes.
I want to get 40 on that right away.
I think if you buy one of those Walby burgers, you should also get a gym membership with it.
Yeah, well,
here it is, the X tonight.
Fair enough.
Great rides.
I tell you, if I'm a young guy, I am calling up my girl, and we're saying we're going out, baby. We're going to the X. I'm gonna take her to the X ball game, and that makes for a good date.
Great date night.
Yes, I think it makes for a great time.
And we happen to be dates tonight. We went to the X. Paris, quick hitter, Ricky Collins.
Oh, there he is.
First catch of the night.
That guy's been on fire. Leading receiver for the Eskimos coming in. A lot of people probably think that was Greg Ellenson. He's right here at the bottom of your screen. Watch him just do his thing here. I mean, this is not difficult. This is just pitch and catch being quarterback. Guys giving you a quick slant, playing that far off. Take that all day long. That's his 41st catch of the season.
First and 10, Eskimos. Scored every time they touched the ball tonight. C.J. Gable.
That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do if you're running back. Make the first guy miss, and that's a tough guy to make miss, too. Mike Howey. C.J. Gable just catching the ball, a little simple swing, dump pass here, and check down, and whoop. Oh, that was Kane. He made a miss there. Howey's in late. Very nicely done.
Getting to the midway point of the second quarter. Week 10 in the CFL. Friday night football. First day of the X. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? Eskimos love this position. Just over the midfield stripe. Paris. Play action. That time, Ellingson, a rare
Jason Moss didn't waste any time throwing a flag here on the challenge, and he's really upset that he had to burn it so quickly. Greg Ellenson, 82, just came up looking for a flag, and I thought there was early contact. Jason Moss is livid on the sidelines. He's just really hot under the collar right now, for lack of a better term.
Edmonton is challenging that there is defensive pass interference on their receiver, number 82. We'll review the play.
Based on how fast he threw that flag and the reaction, I would think he's probably got a pretty good case, and I haven't even seen the evidence. Here it is. Oh, yeah. That will go to command, and we'll come back. Week 10 continues tomorrow. Doubleheader. Dane Evans and the Cats against the Red Blacks tomorrow at 4 Eastern. It's a live mic game. Dominic Davis, Dane Evans. Then after that, the Montreal Alouettes looking for their first win in Calgary since the 2009 Grey Cup. 7 Eastern. And it didn't take long.
We have defensive pass interference. Toronto, number 3. Ball will be placed at the 39-yard line. First down, Edmonton.
And Edmonton retains its challenge.
Yeah, and I can understand Coach Moss's frustration, because it's pretty clear he's there early, and coach is forced to throw his challenge. Do what you got to do, though.
Paris. Read option. C.J. Gable.
Just picking his way through that porous, right now, very porous Toronto defense. I'm talking about, they're doing this with the new guy left tackle too. Draham's out of the lineup, and you got Kyle Saxlett in there, first-year player from UNLV, and they're not missing a beat. As C.J. Gable just dances for 10.
2nd and 1. Kyle Sacklet, the only extra O-lineman they have with Draheim out right now. An O-line missing the likes of Matt O'Donnell, but an O-line that's done a great job.
Sacklet's not a small one.
Trevor Harris.
He fits in there nicely with this big offensive line. The Edmonton Eskimos, 6'7", about 300 pounds. So just another small guy added to the mix. Looks like a natural left tackle, too.
Eskimos have been perfect so far in the red zone, trying to get there. And that is just overthrown. Looking for Ellingson. It'll be 2nd down.
I believe that Trevor Harris had to throw that ball before he wanted to. Ellie couldn't pick it up, and when that happens, when a receiver like that, Greg Ellingson, really can't spot the ball. That Trevor had to throw it too early, and that's credit Toronto defensive line pressuring Trevor to an early throw.
Like a miscommunication on the route that time. Double tights. Harris back to pass once more. Fires, collecting it. And why wouldn't Greg Ellingson have another catch tonight?
Yeah.
Having his best night as an Eskimo.
At first you don't succeed, try again. Why not when you're throwing to 82? Oh, I like that route. Stop and go. Get him thinking it's a double move, then come back. I love that.
5 catches, 70 yards.
Milton Davis in the studio are probably talking about that one right now. Milt never had to do that. He'd just run by it. He didn't have to
This will be
use all those gimmicks.
2nd down and short.
That gives a DB a lot to think about. Greg Ellingson setting up his future moves, an opportunity to go deep. Now you don't know what he's going to do.
So they're whistling this in. It's
third down.
It's third down and short. And here is an issue for the Eskimos this year.
Yeah.
They have not been good in this department.
You would think it'd be a no-brainer with the size of your offensive line.
Harris, though, no problem.
Wow, did you see that 2 of the offensive linemen's feet came out from right underneath them like they slipped, like they're not wearing the right cleats, which is hard to believe because you got Dwayne Mandrusiak in his 48th year as their equipment manager. He's a godfather in the Canadian Football League. And and a couple of the old linemen just looked like they lost their footing, but they still had no problem picking up the first down.
Well, it's a different field, unlike any other in the Canadian Football League. High snap. Gable cutting back for a loss. He's dropped by Jermaine Gabriel, returning to the lineup for the Argos.
Okay, so if you want to continue to have problems in the red zone, go 1st and 10 from the 17 and run the ball and have penetration in your backfield, which they do. And now it makes it 2nd and 13. Not what you're looking at here down in the red zone for the Edmonton Eskimos.
They're just outside it, but you'd have to consider it red zone, 20-yard line and in. 2nd down. Harris and Daniels takes out our camera. Want to see that shot. Cameraman's okay. Daniels says he's okay, and he made the catch.
He's in. You got to feed in. Did you catch it? It's in. It's in.
So you want to be a cameraman, huh?
Yeah. Well, this is coming right at you. Beautiful throw by Harris. Spotted it beautifully. Daniels got to keep his feet in. Oh, that's tough to see there. Cameraman coming right into your kitchen.
That is absolutely full-on grind mode. That's a warrior right there, an Iron Man. 12th play of the drive. Jeff, our cameraman, and touchdown. And Ricky Collins Jr. has his 3rd of the season. And you said it earlier, like a knife through hot butter.
Hey, I'm really
Eskimos.
like that. The guitar.
Do it again.
Tyler, Texas product. Just a little post route. Trevor spots it over the top of Kane. And that's easy pickings. Ricky Collins getting her done, as he has all season long.
Good work. Good work.
His third touchdown of the season. He's having a career year here in the first half of the season.
Sean White, another point after. And everybody scored tonight.
Oh, I gotta be coming.
Every time they've had the ball, both teams have scored. The difference is the Eskimos have scored touchdowns, and the Argos have kicked field goals. It's 21-9 in Toronto on Friday Night Football. Ricky Collins, rocking and rolling too.
You know what it is? We really like that as a whole group. Really like that.
He does. Ricky Collins Jr., the 26-year-old out of Tyler, Texas. You love that Texas, don't you?
Well, there's a lot of them.
Chris Radio. Good downfield special teams tackle. James Tuck. Well, here's Jeff, who is known as Shaky. Shaky was able to hang on. Toughest cameraman in the ball game tonight.
Rod, the boys getting set for halftime. I've always called it red zone. You like to call it green zone.
Green zone.
How about you down at the end? What do you call it?
Milk zone.
The milk zone. I'm not surprised.
The milk zone. The milk zone.
Whatever the zone is, Edmonton's been cashing in this game. Let's go back to Rod and Matty.
Well, Shaky's back at it. Way to go, brother.
Rod, did you hear the guys talking about it in the studio? What they call all the different zones?
Yep.
Red, green, score,
We're
boot,
in
whatever.
the X zone tonight.
Yeah. Score zone, I love it. Call it what you want, man. You got to be efficient in that area.
Yeah, inside the 20-yard line. Long field for the Argos. Bethel Thompson's in trouble, but delivers. Armani Edwards has his first grab of the night, just minimal yardage.
Yeah, they gave him a 2-yard catch on that.
Monty comes up, little lame. It's okay, he'll get back to the huddle.
If you're Eskimos, you want to get a 2 and out here, get decent field position, plenty of time left on the clock to do some more damage before the half. But if you're Toronto, this is a big first down for them.
Look at them blowing up the house here. Ethel Thompson again scrambles. And he was feeling the heat.
That's Kwaku Boateng again.
Kwaku has had himself a night. If he didn't know McLeod Bethel Thompson before tonight, he's getting to know him.
He's so big, you need 2 arrows on him. And it's just dances. I mean, just moves, doesn't even touch Holmes. And blows right by him. I mean, you've got to be more physical than that if you're Tyler Holmes.
This is our first punt of the ball game. Ronnie Pepper delivers a nice one. Jones is going nowhere. First 2 and out, first punt. Big golf week in the Toronto area, north of here at the Magna Golf Club. It's the CP Women's Open. Gets underway Thursday from Aurora, Ontario. The defending champion, Canadian, Brooke Henderson.
Yeah, she's money.
First round against 9:30.
So is Magna.
That's
a crazy course.
Yeah, you've been there?
Yes.
Yeah, you know some rich cats.
I was like, I've never seen so many black cars in my life.
Yeah, it's a great golf course.
It was just like, everything was black and beautiful.
Tavares Daniels was wide open, sandwiched between 2 receivers, but had loads of room, and Trevor Harris just a rare miscue.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's right here. I believe he's right here. He's going to bolt out here like that, and he's got him all alone, and Trevor just misses him. He's kind of just lollygagging out there, and then he turns it up. That ball spotted in it a little more inside. That's a big play for the Eskimos.
Second down and 10. is a rarity tonight for Trevor Harris at 2 and out. And so the Argos actually will get the ball back.
This bodes well for them. They've got plenty of time on the clock. Get a decent return here by Chris Gainey, who's been on fire tonight. And you're in business. Get right back in this ball game.
So again, there's Rainey back. He's already returned to kick this season. In the year of the return, 18 kicks. Returned for touchdowns. Already surpassing last year. Sean White filling in for Hugh O'Neill. Rainey. Nowhere to go but out of bounds. 1:52 to go before halftime, and the Eskimos have been feasting on number 4.
Yeah, they've been coming from all over the place. It's just not one guy. It's been their calling card. They're doing it as a group, and they're having fun. They're feasting on McLeod Bethel Thompson. And it's not new to anybody in the Canadian Football League. These guys are quickly making a name for themselves as a group, and they're getting it done. And Philip Lawley's the mastermind behind it all.
McLeod Bethel Thompson trying to get the Argos in scoring position in 1:52. Just came off at 2 and out. Argos have been good when they're quick. They have to be quick because the Eskimos are in their backfield.
And they're running. S.J. Green is trying to run just like a little 8-yard sit down, and McLeod Bethel Thompson has to hurry his throw, and it's off target and incomplete because there's so much pressure up front. And they're going to have to find a way to, one, I would move McLeod Bethel Thompson around. They don't have a running game here other than Burks in the first series of plays. They need to get back to that. Because this is not
again. Bethel Thompson just got drilled, but also fired it to Terrell Walker.
He shows you toughness there. I don't care. There's levels of toughness. We know Mike Riley's at the top of that list, but all these quarterbacks are tough. Watch him hang in here as Larry Dean is breathing down his throat. Knows he's going to take that hit. 1-1 Larry Dean by Dallas State Blazer. Pummels McLeod Bethel Thompson. He stands tall and delivers a strike.
First year in Edmonton, former Cat Bethel Thompson going over the top and caught.
This is going to be a late hit this time.
S.J. Green and McLeod Bethel Thompson just again took a hellacious shot. Like it was to the head. Knocked his lid off.
Roughing the passer. Edmonton, number 96.
Yeah, it's Mike Moore.
Penalty, automatic first down.
Mike Moore right in Bethel Thompson's grill.
Yeah, I'll get you. He's right here. He's in a 4-point stance right there. Mike Moore leads the Esks and sacks. Nice little spin move. And then he just explodes, but he explodes too high, and the helmet pops off from McLeod Bethel Thompson. I like his zest, but he went a little too high in that. That's an easy call.
Bethel Thompson again. Now he can run. He's got lots of room here. The 30, the 20. He better go down. He didn't go down, and he took another hit. Can he take any more of these hits? That was one where he should have slid. He's lucky to be still standing.
Right. He feels like he's lucky to be playing, and he's doing everything he can to win and put his team in a position here right before the half to score some points, get back in this. He ain't going down. Well, he's just took 2 hellacious shots from the Eskimos' staunch defense, and now he's running down the field taking on defenders.
Lots of time to get this to the end zone. 1:16 before the half. That one's up high. And it was almost in INT territory.
Well, you got to admire his toughness, man. I talked about it. Every guy that's in that plays that position's got toughness in him. It's in his calling card, some more than others, but this guy's demonstrating you that he's got a ton of it. And you got to like his moxie and his love for the game. Been a lot of different places. I counted 16 different stops over the course of his career, and he wants to make this one his last one.
Stop he wants is the end zone somehow. Field goals aren't getting it done. Look out again. He's going down. 3-man sack. And they are feasting on So McLeod Bethel Thompson tonight. That is another sack, and Macbeth makes
Anytime
his
you
way
come off
back
the
to the
field
end
with
zone.
your chin strap up around your nose,
That's
you
not
know
a good sign.
You know it didn't end well.
25.
Philip Lally liking what his guys did, buckling down there. And this is a jailbreak coming from every angle. You can just let her go, and boy, that's just wanting to get there. Boateng just driving, getting through his man on the other side. You got Vickers doing his thing. Party at Cloud Bethel Thompson's house.
4 sacks for the Eskimos, 30 on the season. Another Tyler Krapinja field goal. Argos, they've been able to move the football, getting themselves into the red zone, but they have just not been able to get past that front 4. They have been under siege. 38 to go before these guys. Ram of the half coming up with Rod and Milt and Hank.
Bald and
Davis.
beautiful crew. That's a bald and beautiful crew right there. Love those guys. Locking it down in Studio 6 right now.
Why weren't we on Niagara Falls earlier? Look at it. We could have had so much fun on that.
I saw that, Rod. You said you were scared of heights.
Yeah, I am. This is about as high as I can go here in the broadcast booth. And there goes Collins. And the Eskimos.
Plenty of time here, 31 seconds.
They are not satisfied with this 9-point lead.
In fact, they're probably upset that they gave up that 3 right there. And plenty of time here to go down and put some points on the board yourself.
2nd and short. You could get the first down, but time is your enemy. Might come up throwing here. They will. Paris ducks, chucks. Incomplete. So now 3rd down. You still have time. Get your first down, and then you still probably have 20 seconds. Maybe time for 2 plays.
Yeah, he was trying to get a rail shot, and he was trying to go deep there, but Toronto flipped the script, got pressure on him, made him force an errant throw and dump it down. So both defenses trying to bow their necks here late in the first half and put some pressure on these quarterbacks to say, no, enough's enough.
3rd and 1.
That's going to be close.
And again, it's been an issue on short yardage for the Eskimos.
They barely got that one.
They move the sticks. They have missed 7 times this season in that situation.
66%. It's not good enough. You want to think that's closer to 100%.
That's too close for comfort. Good thing is that Jason Moss says we're only 8 games in.
Got it.
There it is, and that could be house. Tavares Daniels. Quick strike again. And now you have a chance, instead of setting up for a field goal, you got a chance to take it to the end zone again on a 57-yard bomb to Tavares Daniels, who was wide open under cover.
Going after Jonathan Dowling. They wanted to do that on 2nd and long, and he had to dump it down. Didn't have time, and this time he had plenty of time as Tavares Daniels just races by Dowling. Now you got points for sure here.
11 to go. A couple cracks at the end zone. Paris, end zone. Ellingson can't catch up with it. And that's a signal to throw a flag. Challenge flag. Trevor Harris. Well, they throw the challenge flag.
Well, Ellie's pretty adamant. Beating the heck out of his helmet.
They will throw a challenge flag. And remember, they were successful earlier, and so they still have another challenge.
So the importance of if that call goes their favor,
down to the 1 yard line.
What happens is that ball's down to the 1 yard line, and you can pound it in and trade another field goal for a touchdown.
Edmonton is challenging that there was defensive pass interference against their receiver, number 82. We'll review the play.
So command has this. They're looking at the replays. Here's what they're looking at. Greg Ellingson right in the middle of your screen.
Yeah, he's right here. Ellie's right here. And this is pretty simple right here. I don't know. I mean, Ford.
Did Ford get his left hand, maybe tug his jersey a little bit?
I don't think it was the jersey. I think it was the hip. And that's what Ellie felt. Kadarius Ford's going like, no way.
Like earlier, that one was egregious against Ellingson. That was an easy one. I'm not so sure about this challenge.
No. Yeah, and so I mean, if you're Greg Ellingson, you've got to be sure. If you're beating on your head like that, and as adamant as he was,
after review,
that was PI.
The ruling on the field stands.
So
incomplete pass.
Next time I do that as a receiver, I've got no clout with my coach. It's like, I think that's, you got to be careful there.
Gee, Coach, I would just bang in my helmet just because.
Yeah.
So now, 2nd and goal. One more crack. If they don't get it, they'll have to bring out Sean White. They've been so good in the red zone tonight. The green zone, the score zone. Inside the 20. Looking end zone. And no. Daniels and Dowling. And so now it will be Sean White. And for the first time tonight, the Eskimos don't trade a touchdown for a field goal. They'll get a field goal attempt here.
And that's a good answer. I mean, they got the big explosive play to DeBarris Daniels, but that was miscommunication there. Trevor's trying to throw a throw behind, and the receiver was just running a route. And you have to play the football. And you had quarterback and receiver not even close to being on the same page there.
So Sean White, one of the most proficient kickers in CFL history. High percentage, but only 82% this year. This is a chippy, easy through final play before halftime. And the Eskimos double up on the Argos, 24-12. Too many touchdowns for Edmonton. Too many field goals for the Argos, not enough TDs. We're going to step aside, hit that midway at the X, and we'll send it to Rod Smith. We're Ram at the half.
Thank you, Rod, and welcome to Ram at the half. It is brought to you by the all-new Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Another winning season for Ram. Welcome back inside, along with Henry and Ches and Milt as well. And red or green or purple or anything at all, score zone, Milt zone, it doesn't matter, whatever you call it. The Eskimos are getting it tonight. 9 for 20 heading into this game, 3 for 4, just finally missing on that last chance. But Edmonton's offense has it going tonight.
They do. Ricky Collins said when they caught him on the sidelines that as a group, they're like that. I agree. Really, this group 1 through 5, they're as good as any across the league. When you get man-to-man coverage in the Canadian Football League, you're going to connect an awful lot of times, especially if you're not getting man-to-man versus blitz. And that's what I saw several times in the first half. Guys alone, man-to-man coverage, chasing, but it wasn't versus blitz. And if you're not blitzing, it's tough. There's only, a handful of guys. I counted about 10 guys in the CFL that are pure enough man-to-man cover guys that can cover not against blitz and can still hold their own. There's 10 guys. I don't know how many of them are in that Argos secondary right now.
None of them on that Argos.
Well, Edmonton, they're on fire, but I can tell you the other side of the ball, Toronto, they've made some good plays, but the thing that we've seen, teams that have recently gotten their offenses going, Montreal, BC, it's been through the running game. So for Toronto, with Brandon Burks and Chris Rainey, this is what you got to do. Edmonton's been blitzing 7 guys on every first down almost. For Brandon Burks here, he hits that R1 button for those football players on video games. And look at this guy, a home run hitter. We talked about the home run hitting potential between Brandon Burks and Chris Rainey, making people miss. These two backs are slippery, but when you give them a crack, hey, they can run for a mile. They can outrun all pursuit angles of that Edmonton Eskimo defense, and they're going to need tonight to protect McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
And you talk about Chris Rainey. This man is such a weapon. I don't understand why they don't use him as more than what they use him. And I know on punt returns and kickoff returns, we know what he can do right there. But when you're playing against a team like the Eskimos, who you know have a devastating pass rush, the only way to slow him down is what? Running the ball. So this is Chris Rainey early on in the game, setting up another scoring opportunities for these Argonauts. But get him more involved like this. Get him out in space. Not too many people can tackle this man one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three. He is so shifty and so quick. But they have to get him the ball. If they think they can drop back with McLeod Bethel-Thompson against this defensive line and think you're going to win, you got another thing coming. You have to slow him down to do that and run the ball with Burks and Chris Rainey.
And this already is their best rushing performance of the season at 98 yards. They're averaging 62 coming in. James Wilder Jr., this comes in at a time when he's a healthy scratch once again.
Well, I think it's the best move possible for this team. But the thing is, they got to start to utilize these guys in different aspects, just like Milt was saying. When they cram the box and try to shut down the running game, that's when you get guys like Chris Rainey on the outside. The guy's become one of the biggest playmakers and the fastest guys in the league. Yes. He has an MO for a reason. You got to use it for your advantage.
He's motivated. Maybe he sees that he might get some more touches with JWJ possibly out.
So what they're getting is field goals, but they have scored in 4 of their 5 possessions. There is that for the Argos, trailing by 12 against Edmonton. When we come back, more injured quarterback news here in the CFL.
It is the X game. Harris going deep, and he's got Ellingson, who makes an outstanding catch. Touchdown. The Eskimos are on the board. Harris slinging, and it's caught by Tavares Daniels. Takes out our camera, and touchdown. And Ricky Collins Jr. like a knife through hot butter.
Two more games tomorrow. Doubleheader Saturday in the CFL and TSN. It starts with the first meeting of the season between the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who are really out of the gate dominating the East, against the Ottawa Red Blacks, who've been struggling of late, coming off a loss last week against Edmonton. That'll be followed by Vernon Adams back for the Alouettes, taking on Eric Rogers and the Calgary Stampeders, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Now, we thought a little while ago this might be Bo Levi Mitchell's return to the Stamps, coming off the 6-game injured list, but Henry not ready to go. He goes back on the 6. Nick Arbuckle starting again. How concerned would you be as a Stamps fan?
Well, you're always concerned, especially with the defending MOP, Grey Cup champion. I mean, Bo Levi, he's done it all. But at least this gives him a few more weeks to heal. They don't need to rush him back. Nick Arbuckle has been outstanding. I mean, he's been winning with this team, but you do want to see the guy, Bo Levi. People pay tickets, season tickets, to come see number 19 play, and it's a shame that he's not healthy enough. But again, that's Calgary, man. Calgary, they fill guys in. They develop guys like nobody else. They put Nick Arbuckle in. It doesn't matter if it's Arbuckle, Cozart. They got Don Jackson back. That defense is playing well. Terry Williams is lighting it up, and I expect for him to have a big game tomorrow going against a great Alouette team. But they just find ways to win. That's what Calgary does, and that's why they've been successful over the years.
Well, for me, and I equate their situation to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers situation. Can they win a Grey Cup without Bo Levi Mitchell, just like I say about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
With Matt Nichols getting hurt last night, and we don't know how long he'll be out.
And we don't know. If those guys aren't ready to go come playoffs, can either one of those teams win a Grey Cup? In my opinion, I say no.
The Bombers need Matt Nichols to win the Grey Cup.
I think the Calgary Stampeders need Bo Levi Mitchell also. I don't think either one of those teams can win it without their starting quarterback.
Calgary will still be a big threat with Nick Arbuckle back there.
I don't care about a threat. Can they win a Grey Cup without Bo Levi Mitchell?
That'll be tough.
I don't think so.
It'll be tough.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos need Trevor Harris, and it's been paying off tonight. I mean, he's been hot. That offense has been hot with 3 touchdowns. It's the CNE at night. Wheels lit up. Still lots of fun. 21-12. On the rides? No.
Yes. You're on quarterback.
Don't get hurt.
That Child, the sign-up EP out August 16th, featuring Breathing Fire. Listen now on Spotify.
Halftime in Toronto. The Eskimos lead. Ches, how about those numbers?
The Boatmen have already eclipsed their biggest rushing total of the season with 98 yards in the first half. But they got to slow down the passing game. 243 yards for T-Money, Trevor Harris in the first. T-Money.
T-Money standing by with Matthew Shinetti.
Trevor, I know you wanted to end the half with a touchdown, but of the 4 times you were inside the 20-yard line, 3 touchdowns. I guess the work this week on scoring in the red zone really paid off, eh?
Yeah, it's just self-inflicted wounds we've had. Like I said, we've kind of made all the mistakes we can. So once you make the mistake, you correct it. Never make the same mistake twice. It's pro football.
One thing that Greg Ellingson was saying to me pregame is how much faith there is in that offensive room. When you see DeVaris Daniels and Greg Ellingson stretch the field, do you feel almost any situation your guys are going to come and make a play for you?
We always believe in our guys, and that's a matter of fact. It's the truth, and we always will, and that's why we got him here. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Chaz, I'll play. T-Money. The new Ram Heavy Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever, always ready for the second half, as are we. And he's been in the zone, hasn't he? Whether it's the red zone or green zone, the scoring zone, the milk zone. Greg Ellingson, CJ Gable. It's 21-12. Eskimos second half coming up.
It's Friday night football. Yeah. Boys are all here gonna put the show.
Hard-hitting night, X-night at BMO Field, particularly if you're the Argo quarterback right now, down 12. McLeod Bethel Thompson with Matthew Shinetti.
McLeod, it'll have to be a comeback again. How does it start in the second half?
We got to start scoring the ones that count for more points. That's what Edmonton's doing, and we're settling for field goals. So we just got to start moving the ball better in the red zone and put it in the zone.
I know it's often a play breakdown, but when you're running headlong into the defense, what do you want your teammates to know about your commitment to moving the ball forward?
Yards. I want more yards. You know, we're fighting for every yard we get, 10 at a time. That's our motto this week. So every 10 I can get with extra 1 or 2, I love it.
Extra puck.
Yep.
Well, they have to find a way to keep these guys off of McLeod Bethel Thompson. Easier said than done. What do you think they're talking about the Argos at halftime?
Well, you're only 12 points down, so stay balanced if you can. I just didn't see a balanced attack in the first half there. First drive, it was solid. We saw Brandon Burks have some success, and we saw them sprinkle a little Chris Rainey. I would get back to that in the run game, try to establish that line of scrimmage, slow down those big boys, give them something else to think about as opposed to just rushing the passer.
Maybe some screen passes as well.
There you go. It's a good way to do it.
Dump it down. We'll see what happens. Tyler Krapina.
A lot of zone coverage on 1st and 10. Blackie screens perfect in that situation.
Krapina kicks off the second half. Argos down 12. And one of the newest Eskimos is Christian Jones, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, recently acquired. Picks his way up near the 34-yard line. Trevor Harris moving close to making it 21 straight games with 20-plus attempts, 14 completions so far.
Yeah, but the thing is with Trevor Harris, we're looking at his completions here, but he missed 8 in that first half. There's games he doesn't miss 8 the entire game, and he missed 8 in the first half. And so as good as they were in the red zone, which is music to the Eskimo ears, he missed some throws out there.
Ricky Collins ripped down. Dargana 4 or 5.
Yeah, take a look at it again, and something so simple becomes so.
Abdul Kana.
Oh.
With an aggressive tackle.
Who got tackled there? Yeah.
Trevor Harris tonight, 14 of 22, 243. He's gone 21 straight games with at least 20 completions, moving closer to the all-time record set by Ricky Ray, 24.
In 2000,
that almost was the first turnover of the night.
Yeah, that was strange. That was just that's exactly what you want, though, if you're the Toronto Argonauts. Come out here and get it 2 and out. Here's a look at a very awkward throw by Trevor Harris in tight coverage. Oh, it just came off. Oh, my goodness. Looked like it came off the side of his hand.
Sean White, oh, this is a good kick. Sends Rainey back to his 25. Waits for one to miss, and he's not missing. Gunner got him downfield quickly. Cloud, Bethel Thompson.
Looked like Jonathan Walton there on that play.
His first half had some success moving the football, but he saw a lot of that front four of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, I was impressed with them, though, hanging tough, though, and they didn't get the ball in the end zone like they wanted to, but McLeod Bethel Thompson was standing tall, delivering balls down the football field, regardless, and putting his team in position to score, just couldn't finish the deal.
Matty, biggest plays for the Argos, though, just a 15-yard completion. The biggest plays were two romps by the guy they call Macbeth, McLeod Bethel Thompson. 2 runs for 15 and 21 yards.
Wait a minute, what about Burke's play? I remember Brandon Burks busted it out for a nice little run there in the first quarter on the first drive. That was a big one. Got them going early, which they need, because we know they only scored 9 points coming into this ball game first quarter, so that was important for them to get on the board early, getting the ball first from the Eskimos on a gift after winning the coin toss.
And making his way off the field, Peter Sender, Cobourg, Ontario native, one of the special teams player, a 3rd-round pick, will step aside. The CFL expanded south. The Baltimore Stallions, one of the teams, made its first foray north. Tracy Ham, part of that team, and the Stallions were formidable. Jim Popp was their general manager, and their owner is here tonight, and he's with Matthew Shinetti.
Rod, I have the pleasure to stand next to Jim Spiros, the owner of the Baltimore Stallions, and a very memorable part of the CFL. Mr. Spiros, take us through that time, but more importantly, how important is it for you just to be back in this atmosphere? How good does it feel to be back in the CFL?
It's a lot of fun. You know, it was 25 years ago that we won our first game in Toronto with the Baltimore Stallions. Back in those days, Jim Popp, who's here today as a general manager, was general manager in Baltimore, and Don Matthews was our head coach. So a lot of great memories, I can tell you that.
And being around Jim again, where do you go? Where does your mind go to? Because, you know, there was a very important win here against the Argos 25 years ago. So take us through what those conversations are.
You know, we reflect on the success we had in Baltimore, then we had to move the team to Montreal, and we just talk about how things have changed. Which I'm most impressed about the CFL today is that the venues, this is a beautiful venue, and the fan experience here is great. So you got places like Hamilton, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg have brand new venues. I go back to the old Memorial Stadium where we played, and we used to get 37,000 people there for a game.
Now, you do have your Grey Cup ring. We were just talking about Mike Pringle and how you still keep in contact with him. How important is that ring to you?
Well, no, I tell you, I've been in sports a lot of my life, and to build a team, and the Grey Cup ring will always be personally. I have Super Bowl rings, I have national championship rings. To have a ring winning a Grey Cup with the group of people that we put together back in those years, it's the greatest accomplishment of my life.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Jim Spiros, thank you for being with us tonight. A guy who's got a chunk of history, the first American championship in the CFL. Chris Rainey, boy, just slipped it looked like, otherwise he was gone. Chris Rainey on this drive has been a factor, and the Argos continue to move the ball. This is where, though, they have been getting squeezed in this game, in this area.
Yeah, but the fact that they're giving the ball to Burks, who had a big run on this drive, and Rainey's contributing here. Talking to McLeod Bethel Thompson yesterday in sit-downs, he says, to get the defense of Edmonton out of my face, we have to stretch them side to side, which we're seeing here, and vertically. They're doing a good job of it to start. Here we go. Got a
over the top. What a catch. Rodney Smith. Say hello to Sports Center.
Yeah, snatching it.
That is going up high and bringing it down smooth.
Strike him lightly. Cut it on the back end. I guarantee he caught that on the back third of that football. Watch this.
He looked like our Rod Smith.
Back third of football. Watch, laying out. It's his rock or nobody else's.
Great catch.
Hey, they stretched him horizontally. They got him vertically there. Now they got to finish the deal.
Will they? Rainey to the end zone. They want a signal. The ball was loose. Did he fumble the football?
He was stretching for the goal line, putting that extra effort in. Not sure it's a good idea right here. The ball is taken right out of his hand. Not who got it. Looks like Josh Johnson, maybe.
Ball has to penetrate the goal line plane.
Take a look at it here. It's a great run. Nice job by Campbell up front. Runs over Hoover. Ball did not cross.
And there is a penalty flag. There is no signal again. It looked like when this flag flew, it's usually defensive alignment, usually offside, not giving a yard. We'll see what it is.
Offside, Edmonton. This will be a first down, Toronto.
So first and goal, they get another 3 cracks. Argos would just like to get 1 here, take it to the house. I wonder if their quarterback will call his own number.
I don't care whose number he calls. Just get in the end zone. If the Toronto Argonauts are tired of these threes, 4 in the first half by Pepper, and they're knocking at the door here and change the complexion of this football game early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, after that biggest play offensively to Rodney Smith, Bethel Thompson's going to take it himself. And he is still fighting. And he's fighting. They're not giving him the touchdown. We talked about it before. The Eskimos, the best defensive team in the red zone. And you're seeing it here tonight.
Not easy sledding, that's for sure. You don't want to be here. That's just a whole pile of nastiness right there. There's just no movement at all by the Argonaut offensive line. That's just, I can't stress enough. You've heard me say it, and I've been there. I was there for 14 years, and that is not the place you want to be.
These guys determined, even with just 1 yard off, that they're going to make another stop. That's how good they are. So now Bethel Thompson goes from the gun, and he's going to throw from the 1 yard line, and he's going to throw a touchdown pass.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe he fed
Green. Finally, the Argos hit pay dirt, and S.J. Green pulls them closer.
Yeah, and he feathers this in. He didn't put a lot on this. He just touches that in there. Hoover's all over the back of S.J. Somehow the big hands of S.J. Green corrals that football. He's just sitting down right there in front of Hoover. And that ball is not thrown very hard at all, but very accurate. And that's enough to get the job done. The Eskimos find the end zone for the first time.
And a souvenir. That south end zone, not far from the midway, just off of Lake Ontario. Tyler Krapina for the point after to make it a 5-point game. And he does. What respect, though, for this Eskimo defense from the 1 yard line, from the gun, and you throw it and you feather it perfectly. 9 plays, 83 yards, 449, and the comeback Argos are coming back again. Well, the last time these two teams met, less than a month ago, the Eskimos shut out the Argos 26-0. What a different story here tonight.
Well, Edmonton wins the coin toss to begin the game, defers, so they get the ball in the second half with 12-point lead. Toronto gets a 2-and-out defensively. He goes down and scores the first touchdown, and we got a 5-point game.
Christian Jones, penalty flag. Now he breaks free. He's going to be chased out of bounds by Micah Awe. That gets slick over there with that tarp on the sideline, but everybody's okay. This might be coming back. And a longer field.
Holding Edmonton, number 23. 10-yard penalty, first down Edmonton.
Longer field for the Eskimos, and now the momentum seems to have shifted here in the second half.
Yeah, 2-and-out. Defense gets your ball back, and that's a nice job there by Burks, and then out in the flat all alone. You got Rainey, then Rainey off the left side. And then a beautiful catch by Big Rod Smith. Rainey's reaching for it, not there, second and goal. Feathers one into the big hands of S.J. Green. 5-point ball game.
How about that catch by Rodney Smith, though, tonight? That kind of a turning point. Then the Argos go down to the goal line when it looked like the Eskimos might make a stand, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
Hey. That ship was a little rocky in the first half.
It was
all over the place.
Sinking water. 11th touchdown pass of the season. Turnover-free game so far. And unable to match up with that is Greg Ellingson. Well, our Rod Smith is known as Big Daddy. This is Cool Daddy, Rodney Smith.
This is catching it on the back third of the football. Watch this.
That is poetry. That is what the CFL is all about.
That's huge. That's the difference in kicking field goals and scoring touchdowns right there.
See that night after night. Great catches, great athletes. 5-point ball game. We got a game here tonight on the first day of the X. Harris again. This time, same play, delivers right to Ellingson, down the sideline, still on his feet, and they force him out of bounds. Alden Darby, Kadarius Ford, but they went right back to that same well, and a much better pass that time by Harris.
Well, no, Ellie dropped the first one. Call it what it is. That was a drop, and here Trevor goes right back to him and say, "That's not broke. Don't fix it. Just go ahead and give it to him. Put it on the numbers this time. Don't make him have to go over the top of us." Make a tough catch. Put that right in the 8-2. That's a big first down for the Edmonton Eskimos.
6 catches, 95 yards. 5 yards away from his second 100-yard game as an Eskimo.
Now, I don't know why you wouldn't check out of a play like that. I mean, it's just, you're just running the teeth of the defense there. They got about 8 people in the box, and Trevor just goes ahead and tries to jam it down their throat, and Toronto's all over it. They're waiting for this. There's just too many people in the box. It's a head scratcher, forcing second and long here.
Robbie Smith, the Laurier Golden Hawk, along with Justin Thomas. The big gulp on that play. Second down, long. Harris stepping up, out of the pocket, and laying out is Natea J, well short of the first down, and the Argo defense now ratcheting it up here in the second half.
Just a different look, pressure off the edge, forces Trevor up in the pocket. He's got to dump it down, and that's the only receiver that's in his sidelines once he steps up in the pocket. Now you got a fairly short drive, and the defense is off the field and keeps the momentum going if you're the Boatman.
Sean White once more. Going to launch this from his 40.
Another nice punt there, Rod.
Yes, it is. Raining. Spinning on a 45-yard kick from Sean White. Back to McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Not too many wins in his brief CFL career, but they've all been dramatic. An Edmonton defense that has iced so many opponents this year. First in so many categories. They are dynamic, to say the least. Here's Matthew.
Yeah, Rod, and whether Philip Lally was the linebackers coach with the Eskimos when he won a Grey Cup in 2015, or the defensive coordinator with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, where he worked alongside Larry Dean, who's now with the Eskimos, the message has always been simple. He doesn't want a definitive star. He wants everyone working together and by committee. He said this week that practice really wasn't that good because not everyone was on the same page. But that really comes to the point about the overall standard of this defense. And it's really written on Larry Dean's champ juice. And speaking to him before, he said the message is really simple. Larry Dean told me before the game, it's communicate, see formations, tackle well, have fun. Guys?
I want me some of that champ juice. I think there was some on the midway tonight. Yeah. We tried some of that earlier. champ juice is just a little different.
Champ juice and some, what were those donuts called? Tiny Tom's donuts?
Tiny Tom donuts.
Little apple cinnamon going on over there.
Yes, sir.
Man, we cut the front of the line, too.
Yes, Larry Dean. There he is, a guy who would like to be a champ. And here's a guy who does so much work away from the field. Community guy. For a year goes back home. Former Valdosta State star.
You know their mascot there at Valdosta? Blazers.
The Blazers?
Yeah.
Oh, McLeod Bethel Thompson going deep. Incomplete for Jarrell Walker, the ex-Esk. Unamba wasn't to double coverage. And that would have had to have been a sensational catch.
Colon was all over him. He had good coverage. It was help over the top. But I like the fact that they're trying to push the ball down deep. He threw it to the wrong guy. He had his corner wide open to his left side, and he threw the post to the back to his right side. The safety was over to get over the top, break that up.
Hunters have done a nice job here tonight. That's Peffer again. Christian Jones still on his feet, and a good starting point for the Eskimos. A battle of field position now in this East versus West collision tonight at BMO Field on Friday Night Football. Back at BMO Field in Toronto.
I think that was a big series of downs for the Eskimo defense there, getting that 2 and out. And McLeod, I think, forced that post on 2nd and long. This is huge for the Toronto defense to come up strong here.
They load up the box again, and C.J. Gable swallowed up once more. That front line.
Mike Awe in there, too.
Here is one of the most fierce players in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, he brings it. You know, he plays with a certain level of tenacity.
He loves to hit, Matty.
More, yeah, than a few guys in the league. And we're talking about professional athletes. When you rise above and your cream rises to the top, you're talking about Micah Otway when he brings that extra nastiness.
Smart guy as well. Petroleum engineering major at Texas Tech. They load it up. They bring the blitz. And Harris goes over the top for Greg Ellingson. And yes, that is the signal for a first down, and that was pinpoint.
Man. That is just crazy.
You know what that was? Vintage Ottawa Redblacks.
Well, this is vintage Trevor Harris throwing accurate football. He's got a couple linebackers coming right downhill, wanting to eat his lunch. And he nice one into Ellie, and he goes down and gets it and spotted that ball beautifully where only his receiver could catch it.
The Duke. Ellingson. Team that lost Duke Williams. Harris again and again. Pinpoint precision. Ricky Collins.
Right in front of Darby. Darby's right there when the ball hits the 1 and the 3. And watch the accurate throw here. Little dig route coming across the middle. You know you're going to get hit. Ball's put right on the 1 and 3. If not, that's an incomplete pass. That's on Trevor Harris. Beautiful throw.
Ricky Collins, who inherited a number made great by Mike Riley for so many years. And of course, a great defender, Larry Highbaum in Edmonton.
I played with Larry.
Oh, and that's a drop by Tavon Smith.
Tavon, you want to be around long, you got to squeeze those. First-year player from Iowa. Got 25 catches coming in. Spent 3 seasons down in the National Football League, one with Indy, one with the Raiders, one with the Jaguars. And, well, you know, that's just one. He just lost the concentration. You know you've got some room in front of you, and you want to turn up. And he knows it. He's been playing the game long enough.
There's loads of time left in this game, but this is one of the biggest plays of the game for the Argo defense and the Edmonton offense.
Yeah, this is huge. Don't want to settle for 3 here if you're Edmonton, but that's exactly what you want to do if you're Toronto. Shut him down.
Harris, pocket squeezes. He delivers again.
Man.
And Trevor Harris.
That was money.
Money back to Collins. That's his 20th completion of the night, and now that's 22 games. Most consecutive straight games, 20 completions or more.
Tight coverage here now. And Trevor's got pressure in his face. That's tight coverage. That is, again, is on the 1 and the 3 with the defender hanging all over his back, moving the chains for the second time in the last 3 plays.
Look at that. Trevor Harris, 3 games away from becoming all-time. Ricky Ray in his way. The guy he learned from back in 2012 when he was a third-string quarterback. Goes end zone. And got it! Oh, what a catch! Greg Ellingson. Holy mackerel. That was spectacular.
A little confusion with the formation. 6 seconds on the clock. Harris gets him right. Here's Ellie right here. He's going to run a wheel route. Just gets this ball off as the clock's ticking down. Ellie sells the flat, wheels up, ball's put out there, and then he lays out, makes a spectacular grab.
That could be catch of the year material. We have seen this from Greg Ellingson before.
Whoa, he's got to run for his money just with the Rod Smith catch there just a couple series before, but that is just
to pull it back so we get it
camera work there too. Boy, our guys are on the money there. Ellie, watch him lay out. Get vertical, Superman. There it is.
It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Greg Ellingson.
That's awesome.
Look at this.
Right over the top of Ford, who's been going, are you kidding me?
My friends, that is Greg Ellingson at his best.
Yeah, well, Trevor Harris he was throwing some accurate footballs there and gave his receiver a chance to make a spectacular play, and they connected once again.
Well, another one for plays of the week, plays of the month, and a play of the year right there. And how deflating has that got to be for the Argos, clawing back into the game, and once again the Eskimos score a touchdown.
Yeah, watch Ellie, he's right here, and he's going to run a wheel route. He's just going to go down, oh, excuse me, I'll try that again, folks. He's going to run a little wheel route here, sell the flat. Receivers takes the top off, sell the flat, wheel up over top. Ford can't get there, takes a bad angle. Trevor threw him open into the soft spot in the back of the cone. Goes Superman on us right here. Oh, that's nice.
Look at Shinetti. He's in awe.
Yeah, that's right in front of him. Front row seat. That is awesome.
That is
great camera work, man. That is beautiful.
That, my friends, is magic. That's magic. Greg Ellingson, 8 catches, 124.
Oh, look at that.
2 touchdowns.
I love the fact that Jason Moss is showing all that enthusiasm. You just feel him living vicariously through Trevor Harris on that throw and catch.
You know, we have a guy in the studio who, of course, had one of the great receptions, incredible reception and touchdown a few years ago in Ottawa. Burris to Ellingson. And Greg Ellingson has done that for so many years.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see how Hank rates that catch, because that might be one of his very best.
Yeah. An important part of the football game here, with Toronto coming back and showing a lot of resiliency. A big drive, capitalized on some great throws by Harris, and then that touchdown pass is absolutely spectacular.
So now McLeod Bethel Thompson trying to answer. Runs a hitch. Only a couple of yards far side.
That's what you were looking for in the first half, Rod. You talked about it. So maybe some screens, get that pressure off of McLeod Bethel Thompson, the 1st and 10 in zone coverage. That's what you're looking for. That's what you tried to execute there. Got him 4.
Greg Ellingson has had a monster night. Bethel Thompson drills one far side. Not enough. It'll be 3rd down. But so you're gonna 25 to go, 3rd quarter.
It's going to be a big call here, because you want to put the ball back into Trevor Harris's hands, and he is hot. Harris is hot here now. fact, in the red zone, he's 4-7, 30 yards, 3 TDs, and he's got 1 rushing himself. They're going to give it back to him here on third.
Yeah.
Looks like 1.
3rd and 1, and maybe, you know, some residue in their kitchen, especially after the way the Eskimos stopped them in the goal line a couple of times.
Yeah, and you talked about that defensive line just being the best in the league, and certainly in the red zone.
Ronnie Pepper just gets that away and now scurries downfield. Bounces to Jones. Flag down. Final play of the 3rd quarter, but it can't end on penalty. Wonder if they will end it.
We have no yards against Toronto, number 99. 1 more play in the quarter.
Greg Ellingson, you have made every highlight reel imaginable tonight. And a career full of great highlights.
What a night for football. Got a full moon, got a CNE. He got a tremendous crowd. People going at it.
Ricky Collins gets a nice block this time. And how about Greg Ellingson leading that path? Not only catching the football, but helping out his buddies. And he's helped his team tonight with 2 major scores. One they'll be talking about for a while. 31-19, the Eskimos undefeated when they lead after 3 quarters this season. Will they hang on? Can they hang on Friday Night Football? Toronto Argonauts have a big 3rd quarter. They claw within 5, and then the Edmonton Eskimos with a huge response.
You're right, Rod, and I credit Trevor Harris for being accurate on a couple of 2nd down and long situations when he had to be. And he stood in there and he threw some strikes to Ricky Collins Jr. and then he threw that beautiful ball, and it was an even more spectacular catch in the back end of Greg Ellingson. And a time where I thought the Edmonton Eskimos needed to step up because Toronto had recaptured some momentum there early in the 3rd quarter. Got a 2-and-out defenseman, went down the length of the field, and Bethel Thompson put the ball in the end zone. And to me, that made it a 5-point game, and momentum was switching very clearly to the Toronto sidelines, and that drive for the Edmonton Eskimos there, Trevor Harris stepped up and performed when he had to.
Now, as we begin the 4th quarter, the Argos defense also needs to tighten up. 2nd and short. This will be a 1st down. If the Eskimos are able to score here early in the 4th, they may be able to put this one away. And McLeod Bethel Thompson needs his defense to come up with something big and needs to put his comeback shoes on. And by the way, he's had those shoes on a couple of times.
Yes, he has, and he doesn't shy away from those opportunities. And in spectacular form, he's stepped up to the plate for this football team. They need some more of that.
Ricky Collins has really stepped up here in the 2nd half. That last drive, Collins a couple of 2nd down conversions. The Argos held them to 2nd and 10 twice on that previous drive, and Harris was able to convert along with Collins.
Yeah, it's like Trevor is he's just chunking it all over the yard right now. I don't see any semblance of a running game. They're just going past scale right here in the 3rd quarter and the 4th now.
Enormous numbers.
There you go.
There's the running play. CJ Gable pounds the ground.
Yeah, double tights, flatten them out, find a crease. Watch that. This is nice. They're just all. Now watch him just jump cut. He's going to come in here and he's going to push it hard and he's going to hit the hole. Bam. Get you some. Yeah, it's just Colin Kelly doing his thing. 67 right tackle for the Eskimos. Clearing the way for C.J. Gable.
Been a really clean ball game tonight. No turnovers. It's a factor. C.J. Gable swipes away a defender. Then Micah Awe punishes him. Justin Herdman-Reed was there. Initial contact.
Yeah, just make the tackle, Micah, and you're down. You're down a bunch, and make the tackle. Do it again. Get off the field.
2nd down and 9. Corey Chamberlain. His team coming off a bye and their first win 2 weeks ago. Dramatic fashion. came back to beat team with the best record in the CFL, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Big right here. The Toronto team got to get on the field.
Eskimos have capitalized in this situation. And guess who once more? Why not? It's been his night. Greg Ellingson down to the 5-yard line.
But you got to have the protection. You got to have the other people running the route.
And you got to have Greg Ellingson.
Yeah, and Ellie, you know, just he's a beneficiary of teamwork here. And guys going back and executing and ironing things out, putting themselves in the red zone once again. That ball spotted beautifully to Ellie, and he turns it up. I love how he does that. Doesn't hesitate. Just goes north and south.
Success in the red zone has been paramount tonight. One more shot. And Micah Alway retreating on Christian Jones and made a good defensive play to swat that away at the last second.
Yeah, Christian Jones is open. This is a beautiful ball, and we're going to see if Alway gets a hand in there. Now it's a drop. Waiting.
Yeah,
oh, his left hand. I believe Alway's left hand got right on the number of 22.
Eskimos trying to put this one away. Argos holding tough. And C.J. Gable stretching on 2nd and goal, and we'll see where the spot is. And it looks like it's near the 2. And it looks like the Eskimos,
the 1-yard line,
are going to take the point. Sean White is coming up, and they're not even going to think about going after this. Or are they? Sean White's now coming back. And so they are going to go for this
line. Yeah.
on 3rd down, and it's outside the 1-yard line, almost a yard and a half. Wow.
3rd and 1 from the gun.
Friday night.
There you go.
At the X.
Oh, this is a spectacular setting. If you're not down here, you're missing it.
They got a good crowd in here tonight, too.
Great night for football. Great night to take in the Aggies.
The band in the house. Eskimo fans here make the trek.
Looks like they're going to take the time count here and just kick the field goal. What are they doing?
Timeout.
So they're going to talk about this.
Well, it's an important part of the ball game. 12-point lead.
Eskimos have been successful tonight, but we talked about it before. Where have they had a deficiency this season coming in?
Yeah.
3rd down.
Well, yeah. Fair enough. But they've corrected one of those.
The red zone.
Yeah, they've corrected that. Our producer John Hines in the truck, you know, he knows football as well as anybody in the country, and he's passionate about what he does and how he covers games, and he's absolutely right. He's saying that they've corrected everything tonight.
And right now,
unfortunately, the Toronto Argonauts have been on the other end of that.
They can put the foot on the Argos' throat right here. From the gun. Gable, flag down, touchdown.
Boy, that was some patience, too, on 3rd and 1. He got that ball about 5 yards.
No end.
So this is a moot point
penalty.
now.
Repeat 3rd down.
Procedure call, and so now they'll have to bring out the kick team. And a win for the Argos thanks to a penalty flag and movement on the O-line.
And a patient run by C.J. Gable, too. You know, typically you think any penetration is going to stop you. He saw penetration, stopped, and made a nice cut to his left and walked into the end zone.
Welcome the viewers on TSN 3, Friday Night Football. Good game here, 31-19. Sean White to kick a field goal to make it a 15-point game, which might seem insurmountable here. An Argo team 1-6, an Eskimo team 5-3, but if you know the Argos, they have been a comeback team. It's been a roller coaster ride all season. It is tough in the X sometimes. It can be scary up there.
What are they in?
But it's only a ride. I don't know, and I don't want to go.
That's crazy.
I don't want to go. Toronto Argos down 2 possessions. Play action for Bethel Thompson. Goes over the top and it's caught. And down inside the 42-yard line. And what a great response, Armani Edwards. There's a flag in the backfield.
Major foul, roughing the passer, Edmonton, number 97. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
With 10 minutes to go, down 15, you need a big play. This is a huge one, plus 15. .48 yards in total. Here's the roughing the passer. Now they run a screen. Finally run one here. To perfection, touchdown! Brandon Burks takes it to the house. Talk about a quick answer. And an emphatic one from the Argos. And they're still alive.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's all you got to give McLeod Bethel Thompson. This guy thrives in these moments and answering Edmonton's field goal, capitalizing on holding the 3, going and getting 6 themselves. There's your screen, Rod. You asked for it, you got it. 2 plays, 75 yards, took all of 36 seconds. That's making hay while the moon is up.
Don't go anywhere. Don't take that last-minute ride yet.
No.
Stay with us. This could go to the wire. What would you expect from McLeod Bethel Thompson? Brandon Burks. Screen pass. Touchdown. 1 possession ball game.
Our Coors Light answering the call focused on the quarterbacks. Did they answer the call? Well, look at Trevor Harris's passing yardage. You know what, though? McLeod Bethel Thompson, 78% of his passes complete. Now 2 touchdown passes. Not over yet. Let's go back to Rod and Matty.
Oh, no, it is not, Rod Smith. Brandon Burks' first touchdown of the season. Looms large right now. They're still down 34-26, but every time the Argos have also scraped back, Trevor Harris, Greg Ellingson, and the Eskimos have been able to surge forward. Let's see what this next couple of minutes will mean as Christian Jones shoves his way up near the 40. He is a guy who's got speed, but also he's got some toughness.
He does, and I can see 2 hungry football teams out here playing, and this is what Edmonton needs to do this year. They need to find a way to finish.
And the red zone numbers we talked about before the game, they've corrected that. And the 3rd and short, you see 2 for 3 that also, because of that penalty, also have been completely successful on 3rd down tonight. So that is working its way up the ranking as well. So corrections, that's what adjustments.
Checking off a lot of boxes.
That's what you do week to week.
Jason Moss talked about it yesterday, you know, attention to detail and being precise and everything. Everybody across the board. Each quarterback, I found an interesting, each quarterback mentioned just doing your 1/12. Just do your 1/12. Just do your job. Both of them phrased it that way, and I find that fascinating. It's what the coaches are preaching to them. Do your job, and it'll come together.
Jason Moss, Trevor Harris also talking about the details and getting better with time, and the more time they have together. Remember, this is a team that hardly resembles the team from last year in so many ways, so many different faces.
Yeah.
But they've had success again. They're winning again, and they're trying to bring this one home. They haven't been very good on the road, 1-3, trying to get a rare road win. Harris, his own little dump down to C.J. Gable, and that was a big play. Nothing there.
Yeah, that's Bishop. Yeah, that's Big Kid Bishop. Said, not today.
Northern Illinois star, former pick of the Dallas Cowboys. Number 97 out there with Freddie Bishop.
Well played in space.
No relation.
Well played in space, big man.
Second down again for Harris and the Eskimos. He's going deep. And Tavares Daniels looked like he was impeded downfield. There is no flag. The Eskimo bench wanted an interference call, but that ball, frankly, wasn't anywhere near Tavares Daniels.
Yeah, and I thought he had Ellie on the skinny post on the number 2 inside receiver, but he chose to go outside to Daniels, and here's a look at it, and I think he's got Ellie. If you watch Ellie right here coming across your screen, now he's high and low right there.
That's on both players. Daniels kind of pushed off as well.
Yeah, excellent job by the Toronto secondary. High and low Ellie on the inside, took away the skinny post, and ball was overthrown on a go route to Tavares Daniels.
Here is a guy who can change football games. Chris Rainey. Not this time. Going backwards. Oh, maybe. Still on his finger. He's got something. Oh, boy. Look out. Tried to shoot the gap. And Chris Rainey, who had lost about 15, actually gained about 15, but
that was getting ugly in a hurry.
Turned out all right for the Argos. One of the most exciting players in the game. Yes, we went to the X earlier today. Matt, there's a lucky shot.
No, dude,
I won.
Yeah,
hey, this is where you're good at, beer pong.
Yeah, that's my game. It's my wheelhouse right there.
There you go. Nice
Give me the dog, baby.
Nice
yeah.
wiener.
Now I'm happy. Look at you blowing up the beer bottles.
I'm good at breaking beer bottles.
That's awesome.
That was fun today, and we even went on the rides.
That's right.
The thrilling rides.
That was Layla pounding Layla behind me.
We were. Oh, it was thrilling. Of course, it's a full moon. Well, look at that tonight. And we didn't win.
What it's all about. I'm telling you, man, I would bring a date down here in a heartbeat.
How come we didn't win something like that? You want a wiener.
I'll bring my wife down here. Ted and I would wear it out.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you're in the Toronto area, come to the X for 18 days.
That guy did something right.
Yes, he
spent a lot of money probably doing it, though.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Now the tough thing is getting it on the subway.
Oh my God!
How do you win that?
If he pours that all over his face like that guy we see at the Sports Center all the time.
Hey, I'll take the large.
That's amazing.
Guy hasn't eaten in a week.
I could use some of that right
Here it is. 7 minutes, second down, Argos right back in the thick of this. Trying to get a first down. Looks like they're going to have to kick it back. And now it becomes a battle of field position as we play it down inside 7. The Argos down 8.
Yeah, it seemed like a very, oh, wow. That is a community bag right there.
That, you know what, that is very unselfish. What a nice young man. Sharing with everybody.
Man.
There it is.
Look, that guy's 3 rows down, everybody. He's getting a bag.
Now Christian Jones trying to change the complexion.
That's a huge stop for the Eskimos there, and a very passive call, I thought, by Toronto, dumping it down like that.
Ronnie Peffer back with the Argos, looking after the punting duties. Now Jones trying to kick it outside. Shoots the gap here. Peffer's going to chase him down.
Look at Peffer going at him. He took the angle away and said, not today.
Well, Matt Dunnigan, today's news is so bizarre, they don't even try to make it up. And they never make it up. A new season of Beaverton. Love Beaverton. All new. Get into it. Tuesday at 10/9, only on CTV.
What's the name of that show?
Beaverton. It's like it's kind of like fake news, only real news, but real funny news.
Okay.
Big news here tonight. We got a ball game.
Yeah, we do. It's been a good one. I mean, these guys are hungry.
Eskimos with a good starting point. Again, trying to seal this thing. Argos keep coming back to life. Harris delivers again.
Ellingson.
Of course, Greg Ellingson. He's made catch after catch after catch, including one.
What's cool
we'll
about this
forget.
is you watch Trevor Harris, watch him double clutch this because he's just buying a little bit more time for Ellie to clear, not the first window, but the second one. Ellie's coming left to right. There he is. Now stick it in that window there. Put it on the money on the 8 and the 2. And call it a first down.
Miscommunication. Harris calls his own number and is drilled.
Well, that'll change things in a hurry if you keep going like that, if you Trevor Harris straight into defenders.
So second down. Greg Ellingson, by the way, biggest night as an Eskimo, 170 receiving yards and a couple of scores and one highlight reel catch. And of course, Trevor Harris, how about this night? Over 400 yards passing.
Yeah. And he's not even close to being done because it's a competitive ball game and he's going wire to wire with this.
5th time in his career he's been over 400. Needs his first down, and he gets it from DeBaris Daniels.
He got a little extra oomph on that one. He knew he had to knife it out there, and oftentimes you see that nice catchable ball by Trevor Harris. This looks more like a Henry Burris cannon right there. He just darts one right at you, coming right at you. Stop! Whack! Right in front of the defender.
Eskimos going to the air. I know they like to take this to the end zone, but even a field goal makes it a 2-possession ball game. Good chance to bleed the clock here as well.
You don't have to. You put it in the end zone.
Gable keeping it on the turf. Might do that again, but Mr. Second Down might be seeing the ball here again.
Yeah, watch Ellie on this catch. This is just Superman, little wheel route. Get there. Man.
Guy with no cape. Super catch.
Nights like this, you want to play another. You want to ask the other team, you want to go again? Let's go again. Let's just make this a doubleheader. That's how fun they're having down there right now.
High snap. Harris. And tangled up. No flag. Oh, there is a flag. It was dropped.
Late
flag, and that's actually probably around that same area it is. So it's against the Argos in the end zone. So it'll go to the 1.
Toronto, number 14. Ball will be placed in the 1-yard line. First down.
So with 3:36 to go, this might be the final nail if the Eskimos can put it in the end zone. The Argos have been like vampires. They can't kill this team tonight. First and goal. Harris getting the play in his speakers in his helmet.
Officials talking to Jason Moss over the sidelines. I'm still having a hard time figuring out the defensive pass interference in Abdul Kanay.
Please reset the game clock to 3:36.
You look back on the Argos' previous offensive possession when they got the ball back full of momentum and just didn't have that vibe. Needed to pack up some yards. Needed to answer again. And
I actually think they missed the call. I actually think they just called the wrong number. I think it was Jonathan Dowling. When I look at that play that they got the DPI on it, forcing this first and goal.
This could be the dagger. And Harris flags once more. They're saying touchdown. Was there movement prematurely, or did the Argos line up offside?
Trevor's asking for his teammates to come support.
Offside. Defense. The penalties declined. Touchdown.
Big Travis Bond with the spike.
Couple penalties there.
The spike.
Eskimos get in the end zone, and this isn't even close.
And
they're not even close. I mean, you got to be behind the white, and they're not even close.
Tried to pull him back at the last minute.
Now he's going backwards when he should be going forwards, and it's too late. I mean, you got to be more disciplined than that when the game's on the line.
In a game that might now be out of reach for the
I mean, there's not one of them. There's like 3 or 4 defenders over that line there. Come on, guys.
Something they'll try to clean up this week as they get ready to go to Moncton, New Brunswick, where we'll be next week for Touchdown Atlantic. Alouettes and Argos. Eskimos return home to play the Blue Bombers. Sean White. So the dagger from the Eskimos should propel them to their 6th win of the season.
And Rod, we'll go back to this DPI, which put Edmonton in that situation. Watch this right here. Now that's where I think the penalty occurs. They call it on this man here, and I don't think that's right. Watch Dowling and the ex-receiver here go at it. And to me, this right there, that's DPI.
Yeah.
And that should be on Dowling. They just called the wrong defender, that's all. So legitimate pass interference call, which puts Edmonton on the 1-yard line, and they score and puts this game
almost. We ought to say almost because
15 points.
Yeah, no lead is safe, and we saw what the Argos did last time. They were down 15, scored in 36, but it might be up to a Chris Rainey to pull them within 1 possession again. And by the way, under a full moon, crazy things happen.
That's right. I mean, we did a game a week ago and they called it, right? So that's never happened.
Yeah, last week we didn't finish a game.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it has been the year of the return in the CFL. Argos need one. Eskimos downfield quickly. Rainey fumbles. Argos, Micah Awi recovers.
Wow. Tuck was there.
Yep. 3-minute warning. Eskimos on the verge of their 2nd road win of the season and 6th overall.
Get a new play. Get a new play. We boy. We boy.
I'm getting 2 today. That boy Nick better not look my way.
Behind the scenes, wired up players mic'd up. Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. I love watching Wired.
It's my favorite show.
I love watching it back. Thought it was great last week. Frankie Williams
saying I can get 2.
Mic'd up. Bethel Thompson, jump ball here.
Man, it looked like offensive pass interference, if anything, right there.
Going for broke.
Yeah.
Darrell Walker. Going for it all.
Trying to get one of those 2 plays in 75 yards, 36 seconds type of thing. They're going all the way downtown. Trying to get Darrell involved.
This Canadian corner, Arjun Colhoun.
Colhoun's all over.
Canadian flash. Played at Michigan State. Windsor, Ontario.
Here comes that pressure.
There's the pressure. No sacks in the 2nd half. Bethel Thompson somehow escapes. And then almost had it picked off. So it's going to come down to a 3rd down play. The Argos have to go for it.
That's just running for your life. And then he just, check this out from this angle and viewpoint. So you want to be a quarterback. They know it's 2nd and long. They're coming for you. They flush you. Sewell can't get you. Here comes Larry Dean in your face. Chuck it and deck it.
You know, those pockets don't come with airbags. Boy, that's the way it was in the 1st half.
Oh, Corey Chamberlain elects to punt it away here.
He's going to kick it away.
2:29 left on the clock.
Curious decision. Eskimos really only can bleed this clock.
Look at Colin Kelly. He's offensive lineman, right tackle for the Eskimos. He got 2:20 left on the clock, and he is sprinting onto the football field. Like he knows it is plow time, where they're just going to pound the line of scrimmage. He's excited about that. 67 led the way out in the football field there, saying, let's go. I know what we got to do. Let's go get it done.
An Eskimo team that's beaten the Argos 6 of their last 8 times, including 26-0 shellacking 3 weeks ago. Take the season series from the Argos, who, by the way, are going to be very happy not to see any Western teams anymore. 7 straight weeks, thanks to the schedule maker, Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, it's like 7 of their last 9 against Eastern Division opponents or something like that, Rod. And that'll make it interesting here in the East, that's for sure. 7 straight against the West. They'll fall to 1-7, barring some miracle finish here, but highly unlikely now. But there were some positives for the Argos to take from this one tonight, but an inability to finish in the first half made them play catch up all night. They're going to get the ball back once more with under 2 to go. There's Brock Sunderland, VP and general manager of the Eskimos. Boy, what a job he did in the offseason. Yeah, you know, McLeod Bethel Thompson called his team a rebirth, and it was a reface over there with the Edmonton Eskimos this offseason.
The Eskimos aren't going to kick it away. They're going to go. Actually, the spot's pretty favorable. It's 3rd and 1. So they will go. They get this.
Yeah, they're going to take it down all the way.
It's game, set, and match.
There they go.
Argos would need to stonewall, stuff them. And that's not going to happen.
That was well executed, well designed. You can see all the coaching going into that. 6 seconds, broke the huddle on the short distance of the ball. Get up there, first down it, pick up the first down. That's well usage of the clock and play design. Jason's got his boys humming tonight. Trevor's had a fine night, but I think we're going a different route with player of the game.
I hear you. I mean, any other night.
Yeah.
Any other night, you'd have to be crazy to not give Trevor Harris player of the game. He's, again, interception free, 400 yards plus. Oh, there's a spoiler alert. Oh, it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There it goes.
Yeah, there it is. He just gave it away. Oh, man. It's like Game of Thrones ending, man.
This is exactly why Colin Kelly was anxious to get out there so they can do this, run the ball 4 times in a row.
58 to go.
But how many attempts did Trevor Harris have tonight, John Rustin?
Sultan of stats.
28 of 41. So you add 41 to 128.
420 yards.
Right, but 128 plus 41, that equals 169. So in 169 passing attempts, he has not thrown an interception.
He's on a lot of those streaks, and that's been his MO through the years.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw a lot of it. But he's a guy who's also winning.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
Here it is, by the way. Nice spoiler alert. Nissan Titan player of the game is...
Yeah, Ellie.
The Duke of Ellingson.
Yeah, it's a pretty special night. They had a tough time with him no matter who was matched up against them. And unfortunately, it was Ford for most of the night. And Ellie just...
Oh, this
was in his element down here at the CNE. He's probably riding the rides later on, making everybody some...
Nissan Titan player.
Candy.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Nissan Titan player of the game.
Please
brought to you
the game clock to 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. You know what, buddy? That's kind of our ride, though. Eh?
Seriously, man.
We're old guys now.
I just love that, man. It just triggers something, you know.
To be a kid again.
The fair, the rides,
the food,
the food,
the games of chance,
atmosphere, BMO Field, CFL game.
You know what? Most important.
Look at that. There's a date happening right there.
There it is.
That's a good job, young man, young lady. There you go. They are doing it right.
You hope it is. The most important thing is kids. kids. Young kids, old kids.
Right.
We're all kids.
What a great promotion, too. Getting ticket to the Argo game, getting into the X free, right? That's huge.
Been a fun night at the X.
CJ just turning out a few more yards after beatdown.
The most fun tonight, though, was for the Edmonton Eskimos, who pick up a road win. Corey Chamberlain and his team will head to the Maritimes next week. Touchdown Atlantic. A lot of talk about that next franchise, Halifax. Cloud Bethel Thompson and the quarterback conundrum that is the Toronto Argonauts with Zach Collaros, James Franklin around, Michael O'Connor,
Damon Allen,
and Dunnigan. And the clock ticks down, and the Edmonton Eskimos put on an exhibition tonight in so many ways. Greg Ellingson, what an exhibition on CNE night. What a ride this was for Trevor Harris.
You're killing me.
Thrill one. 420 in the air. Ellingson, monster night, including a catch that you're going to be watching forever. One of the great ones. Eskimos move to 6-3, Argos 1-7, 41-26. Good night from the CNE. Good night from Toronto. Here comes Sports Center.